Asset integrity and process safety management is a crucial matter for our survival and future success, and yet so many understand so little about it. All the different disciplines have an impact on process safety management, and it can make the difference between a safe operation or a catastrophe. If you work in operations, maintenance, engineering, finance, HR training, or contracting and procurement, you're bound to have a role to play, but might just not realize your importance. This film aims to increase your awareness on what process safety is all about. So in a nutshell, process safety is about managing the major accident hazards and how we all try to prevent unintentional releases of hazardous substances, which could lead to fires, explosions, and other undesirable consequences to people and the environment. It is a blend of engineering and management skills focused on preventing catastrophic accidents. So what's all the fuss about? I hear you say these disasters are so rare, and are they really worth bothering about? They are less rare than you think. There have been numerous process safety disasters all over the world, resulting in severe consequences, lost lives, injuries, billions upon billions of dollars lost, and serious reputational damage for those held responsible. All the incidents were avoidable and only served to reinforce the importance of process safety management for each individual, the organization, and community. In PDO, we daily deal with hazardous chemicals, which are highly flammable, toxic, corrosive, high pressures and temperatures. These materials are inherently hazardous and have potential to harm if not controlled properly. Process safety management is all about keeping the hazards under control inside the equipment, pipes and vessels which are designed to handle them safely. It is all about the prevention of leaks and spills, equipment malfunction, overpressures and excessive temperatures, corrosion, metal fatigue, and other similar conditions. Managing process safety requires a different approach as hazards are often hidden and cannot easily be seen. Process safety incidents are high-consequence, low-frequency events and can have catastrophic effects. It is possible for a plant, and even the entire industry, to have declining numbers of injuries for many years, and then have a very serious process safety incident with little or no change in its operation. Process safety management is paramount to protect employees, assets, the community, and the environment. So I hear you ask, how are process safety incidents caused? They all generally start with an unplanned or uncontrolled release of hazardous material from equipment, vessels, pipes or tanks, which is called a loss of primary containment event. Remember, if there is no loss of containment, then there is no process safety incident. Process safety incidents are rarely caused by a single catastrophic failure, but rather by multiple events or failures that coincide. As the consequences are so severe, we put multiple barriers to protect against the hazard, such as hydrocarbon and an undesirable consequence such as an explosion. These barriers are sometimes in the form of hardware barriers such as shutdown systems, relief systems, and gas detectors, or they can be softer barriers which require human interventions such as responding to an alarm, following a procedure, emergency response, etc. Unfortunately, all our barriers have weaknesses. We can think of these weaknesses as holes in the barrier. When the holes align, the hazard is released, resulting in a potential disaster. If you consider barriers such as slices of cheese, the holes in them are the weakness. The more the holes in the barrier, the easier it is for the hazard to pass through, resulting in an incident. Sometimes, by our own acts or omissions, we weaken or defeat these barriers. This is a big cause for concern. If critical procedures are not followed, scheduled maintenance activities are not performed, or alarm rates are too high, the barrier is compromised. Similarly, If the right assurance processes are not followed during the project stages, we start with an ineffective or weak barrier. Not managing our contractors correctly or setting up inadequate contracts can also impact on our barriers. In some instances, the barriers are completely removed. An example might be if a person puts a shutdown system in bypass mode without putting a mitigation plan in place. But surely, PDO is not at risk. Well, think again. Let us take a look at ourselves. At PDO, our assets are aging, and our risk profile is continuously increasing. From the early days of low-pressure oil, our operations have become ever more complex. Our hazards have increased significantly as we are now involved in gas production facilities, sour fields, and have adopted new cutting-edge technologies like enhanced oil recovery, which involve much higher pressures. Unfortunately, our controls and barriers have not kept up to the rising risks, and believe it or not, we had more than 60 serious process safety incidents during the last years. This cannot be allowed to continue, as we have a duty to the nation to protect the oil and gas revenues and our assets. How can we help solve this problem? Given the nature of the risks involved, ensuring the safety and integrity of our assets is paramount to us. Now let us think on what makes a plant safe. Where are there no process safety incidents? Safe plant is well designed, well operated, and well maintained at all times by competent people following and complying with the systems in place. Good process safety performance can be ensured only if the design, technical and operating integrity are maintained throughout the life cycle of our assets. It definitely is not a part-time job. We use this PETAL model to understand how the process safety performance needs to be managed at PDO and how we can really demonstrate that our assets are safe and we know it. Let's look at the life of the plant, and as we do, think how we might be involved in the protection of our assets at some stage. Process safety starts at the design. Design integrity means that all physical assets, facilities, wells and pipelines must be designed, engineered and constructed in such a way that all major accident hazards have been identified and managed down to as low as reasonably practical, or ALARP. In reality, this means complying with the design standards, maintaining the design HSE case, and having robust assurance processes during the design, procurement, construction and commissioning phases of the project. The next stage is for the plant to be built, which involves properly managing contractors who do this and ensuring that the plant is built to the right quality, specification, and materials for its long-term safety. Once the plant has been built to the required standards, then it is crucial we maintain its technical integrity. This gives us assurance that our hardware barriers designed to prevent a major incident continue to work as intended. Technical integrity means that our hardware barriers are maintained and tested to ensure that they will continue to perform as the performance standards dictate and are there to protect us when needed. It also means that we execute our planned and corrective maintenance tasks and make our deviations visible. Operating integrity covers all the different aspects of maintaining safe operations. It means, amongst other things, operating our facilities within their operating envelope, alarm management, effective communications, complying with critical procedures, adhering to permit to work systems, following management of change process, properly managing our overrides, and ensuring competence of personnel. Common to all of the above, and arguably the most important of all, is our people and systems. These are fundamental and underpin our success in delivering sustained process safety performance. It does not matter from which discipline you come from. We all have a role to play, either directly or indirectly, in maintaining the design, integrity, operating integrity, and technical integrity of our assets. Frontline staff, operators, technicians, contractors and engineers have a more visible and active role in process safety through their day-to-day work and must understand the specific hazards of the materials, be familiar with and follow critical procedures, understand the process and equipment, know how it is supposed to work, be alert to keep things that are different, noises, smells, drips, leaks, vibrations. Report any leaks immediately on equipment containing hazardous material. Follow a strong technical integrity program that includes equipment inspection, material verification, corrosion under insulation, vibration analysis, and manage deviations. Know how to maintain equipment intended to protect us. Fill out inspection sheets accurately. Follow the management of change process. Understand the corrosion and erosion properties of the materials in your plant. Know about the emergency shutdown systems in your plant and test them as per the prescribed frequency, and much more. In addition, support staff have a critical role in ensuring that adequate resources are assigned with the right competencies, clear definitions of expectations, responsibilities, authority and accountability at all levels of the organization have been assigned. Effective process safety audit systems are in place to ensure adequate process safety performance. Deficiencies found during assessments, audits, inspections and incident investigation are addressed promptly and tracked to completion. Priority is given to funding projects which are related to process safety. Contract holders maintain the HSE requirements of their contract staff. All the spare and contracts are managed so that hardware barriers continue to work as intended. The competencies of staff and contractors are managed. Finally, remember, if managers do not want to hear, people stop talking. Effective process safety governance and culture are not a choice, but a must for the survival of our company. Remember, we all have a role to play, and that undoubtedly means you. Today, let us take time to think and reflect on how each one of us contributes in managing asset integrity and process safety, and help in preventing process safety incidents. Let us all ask ourselves, what can we do better today than we did yesterday?